This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Time right now is 4:27 here on your Thursday morning. We want to thank you for starting your day with us here on RTV6. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. We begin this morning with an overturned semi that might impact your morning commute. This is taking place on I-65 and will impact anyone traveling from the south side.
Yes, so if you're coming northbound on I-65 from the south side, you're getting towards the downtown area at the south split. You will not be able to continue northbound towards Washington Street or the north split. You'll have to divert over onto 70 westbound, and if you're trying to get into the downtown area, you may want to use the Meridian Street exit or West Street to do so, but it's going to give you some problems for your commute. That'll take some extra time as everyone is having to reroute. You can see some pictures from the scene there, some cargo spilling from that overturned semi. We are going to work to learn more for you, but again, just a reminder, if you're heading into downtown or going through the south split there on the south side. We do want to take a turn right now to our forecast. Something that could impact your commute today is the precipitation, and Alyssa Donovan is here with us right now.
So a lot of that is moving to the south this morning. We had it move through overnight. A lot of the activity will be to the south of Indianapolis as we head through the morning hours. Those areas could see a mixture of a few snowflakes in there as well, but you can see on our radar a lot of that activity just to the south of Bloomington. We could see some of that spike up a little further north yet this morning, but that's mostly pushing out of the area. So after those showers move through, we are going to continue to see those temperatures falling. So we're in the low 40s in some areas this morning. Our highs today going to be right around 39 degrees, which we're going to hit at the noon hour, and then we're going to see those temperatures sort of drop off as we head through the afternoon. We have a chilly northerly wind moving in as well. Just with that cold front that moved through, that's going to help usher in some cool and dry air. So temperatures overnight tonight are going to drop off quite a bit. We're going to be in the 20s by tomorrow morning. So that's going to be a concern for you as you head out the door for your Friday morning.
Oh, okay, Alyssa. Yes. Thank you very much.
Well, another story we have for you today is about a new program that's coming here to Indianapolis. It's called IndyCart, and it's about helping law enforcement come together, pool their resources, and be able to find missing children faster without having to go through a lot of steps and not be able to coordinate together.
Right. So many different agencies have so many different tools now, whether it's drones or other ways to track down missing kids. So this way will not only save time, but hopefully save a child's life if in the case they do go missing.
Another story we have for you later this morning is in our Hiring Hoosiers. We're continuing our week looking at industries that are lacking females, and they're looking to get more women on the workforce. And of course, what better place to look than IndyCar and racing here in Indianapolis.
We're going to take a look into the motorsports industry. We'll have that story coming up later, plus news, weather, and traffic to kick off your Thursday.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
A suspect is dead after a standoff with police. What we know about the gunshots fired during the 4-hour incident.
School will be canceled for multiple districts as teachers are set to rally for lawmakers' support, the change they want to see from the State House.
And a family is still looking for their dog after they allege another family took it from the shelter. How the stranger got away with their lost pet. It's 4:30 here on your Thursday morning. Thanks for starting the day with us. I'm Meredith Barrick.
And I'm Lauren Casey. Alyssa Donovan is with us this morning, breaking down what we can expect to see outside. What's going on right now, Alyssa?
So things are actually moving out of the area, so that's the good news. We could see a few issues for areas to the south of us when it comes to precipitation this morning, but a lot of us are going to start dry and stay dry throughout the next couple days here. So here's a look at Storm Team 6 radar. You can see we do have those showers to the south of Bloomington, moving along I-65 towards Seymour. So we do have just a few stray showers. You can see all of that is coming in the form of rain right now. We could see a few snow flurries in there yet this morning as we move through the mid-morning hours. We're just going to see that potential of some of those showers and maybe a few snowflakes in there right around those southeast counties and into some of those southwest counties yet this morning before we start to see that completely clear out of the area. Then we're going to be left with cloudy skies to start, and then we'll start to see a little bit clearing throughout the afternoon hours. We're also going to see much cooler air moving in. We have northerly winds helping usher in that cool, dry air, and you can see that's already moving in to some of our northwest counties this morning in the 30s right around Lafayette, still 42 in Indianapolis, but those temperatures are catching up to us. We are going to be dropping into the 30s in the next couple hours here. Highs today only into the 30s, and then we are going to continue to drop off this afternoon by about 6 p.m. tonight, right around 34 degrees. Much cooler by tomorrow morning. I'll have those details coming up.
Alyssa, thank you. Here is a live look right now at that traffic alert we are following in the downtown area. This is our camera at I-65 and Fletcher Avenue. And you can see they're off in a distance close to the South Split. That's where we have an overturned semi-crash. They're still working to clear that at this hour. What you'll notice is no traffic is getting by in the northbound lanes of I-65. You will not be able to continue on northbound I-65 at the South Split. You'll have to take I-70 westbound to get around this crash. And let's take a look at some images here from our photographer and what we're learning from the scene. The crash happened around 1:45. That semi rolled over, taking up all 4 lanes of traffic at the South Split. That's I-70 and I-65. Police say one person here was taken to the hospital with minor injuries, and you know the cleanup is still ongoing. Of course, we'll keep you updated.
This morning, a man is dead following a nearly 4-hour standoff with deputies in Henry County. Sheriff's officials say they were called to a home near Spiceland around 7 Wednesday night for a domestic situation. A woman later called 911 and said shots were being fired in the house. When deputies arrived on scene, they say 77-year-old Leslie Odier came out of the home and fired a gun at them. Odier ran back into the house when officers fired back. Authorities say Odier was later found dead inside the home. State troopers are now investigating the incident.
On November 19th, thousands of teachers and their supporters will go Red for Ed at the State House, rallying for changes to education. They're asking lawmakers to make $60,000 the average salary for teachers to compete with surrounding states. They also want to stop post-graduation status as a way to grade schools and not judge teachers, their students, or schools on the iLearn scores. Teachers also say a new requirement to renew their teaching license needs to be repealed.
There's a relicensure requirement when teachers renew their licenses, and this was just put in place last year, this additional thing where it's a 15-hour externship that you're doing with a local business, and it's supposed to help us focus on what the workforce needs.
Well, Ben says the requirement is just another burden placed on teachers, and while this rally isn't a walkout or a strike, Ben says the Indiana State Teachers Association is prepared to do more if lawmakers don't take what they're asking seriously. They are choosing to rally on the 19th because that's when lawmakers are going to be back here at the State House preparing for the next legislative session. Many school districts like IPS have actually canceled school for that day, so they want to plan ahead.
Demonstrators gathered outside of a CVS in West Lafayette that refused to sell cold medicine to a Purdue student. The university's school newspaper, The Exponent, shared these pictures with us. Jose Guzman Payano shared his story with RTV6 on Saturday, saying the store clerk would not accept his Puerto Rican driver's license as valid ID. Payano says the clerk demanded a U.S.-issued ID, even though Puerto Rico is part of the United States. Students at last night's protests held signs supporting Payano, calling on Purdue to speak out on the issue. CVS told RTV6 it is investigating. You can read this full story on the RTV6 app.
At 4:35, an elected official in central Indiana is now facing charges after investigators say he endangered other drivers' lives by getting behind the wheel while intoxicated. Nathan Mantlo has been charged with OWI. He's a Brown Township trustee in Hendricks County. Investigators say he admitted to smoking marijuana and was intoxicated before he caused a crash involving 2 other vehicles here in Indianapolis. Documents show that he failed several field sobriety tests after the crash, but did not have any alcohol in his system.
The Marion County Coroner's Office says it's working to improve issues found during a review by city auditors. The review covered a period from 2016 to 2018 and found problems with employee cell phone use, record keeping of unclaimed property, and inventory control. The report includes a 2016 incident when the coroner's office ran out of body bags. Employees used their own money to buy bags and were reimbursed. RTV6 talked to the chief deputy coroner, who defended her office, saying they are short-staffed and underfunded. The coroner's office plans to address the issues and provide an update for the city county council in January.
This morning, the Columbus Police Department is asking for your help to identify these 2 bank robbery suspects. Detectives say these men robbed the German-American Bank on West Jonathan Moore Pike near State Road 46 around 12:30 Wednesday afternoon. Thankfully, no employees were hurt. Anyone with any information is asked to call Columbus Police at 812-376-2600.
A Johnson County family is making a desperate plea after they say someone left the county shelter with their dog. April Isham's dog, Hadley, has been missing from Whiteland since Saturday. She says someone picked up the 9-year-old Victorian Bulldog somewhere along Whiteland Road and took her to the animal shelter. But the shelter says the dog was not left there. The people who took Hadley were given the family's contact information, but the dog still has not been returned.
We just want our dog back. I'm sorry. But we have 5 kiddos, and they're all attached to her. I'm attached to her. I've not been able to sleep at night. And the kids, every time they see me when they get done with school, is Hadley home yet? And she's not.
The Johnson County attorney says the shelter does not require finders to leave animals at the shelter when they take responsibility for contacting the owner. They also do not force finders to leave their personal information. The attorney says there has not been any issues with this policy before, and the shelter staff had no reason to believe Hadley would not be returned home.
At 4:37, Kroger stores here in central Indiana will start to look a little bit different. The 136-year-old grocery chain announcing it's modernizing its brand and debuted a new logo. Take a look. The new logo gets rid of the blue circles. It uses a new font and features a new slogan, fresh for everyone. The old slogan was right store, right price. They also debuted the Kroji, which is a version of an emoji character that depicts its customers and employees. Kroger has also recently increased digital shopping options and launched direct home delivery service.
Democrats say there will be bombshell testimony as they begin public hearings in the impeachment inquiry. Coming up, what they expect witnesses to reveal about the president's alleged quid pro quo.
And the suspect in a shooting that left 2 dead and a dozen hurt in a party in Texas has been released. Why police say they let him out of jail. Alyssa.
Well, today we're going to see those temperatures in the 30s hitting our highs about middays. Then we are falling off into the 20s overnight. Much cooler tomorrow, and then I'll have your weekend forecast as well coming up next.
With Fairlife Ultra Filtered Milk.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. Time right now is 4:42 here on our Thursday, and we are monitoring this overturned semi that's blocking all lanes of northbound I-65 through the downtown area. At the South Split, you'll have to get over onto westbound I-70. This is a spot we'll continue to monitor throughout the morning as they work to clear this mess.
House Democrats say there will be bombshell testimony as they prepare for public televised hearings in the impeachment inquiry. New details have also surfaced about what President Trump asked of Attorney General William Barr. ABC's Karina Mitchell has more.
West Point grad and Vietnam veteran Bill Taylor, the acting U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, will be the first to testify publicly in the impeachment inquiry, telling millions of people what he told investigators, that the president withheld hundreds of millions of dollars in military aid to the U.S. ally. His transcript released Wednesday reveals he grew so concerned over the issue he sent a rare cable to Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, but received no response.
Most important facts are largely not contested.
During a rally in Louisiana overnight, President Trump fired back.
Democrats must be accountable for their hoaxes and for their crimes. Really, I mean, do you believe what's going on in Washington with these do-nothing, somewhat evil, and in some cases very evil people?
Also testifying next week, former Ukrainian ambassador Marie Yovanovitch. One Republican says none of the evidence points to corruption.
There are perfectly appropriate quid pro quos, and there are inappropriate quid pro quos.
This morning, there are new details about the president's actions just as the Ukraine story first broke. Multiple sources tell ABC News that the president wanted Attorney General William Barr to hold a news conference, saying that Trump didn't break any laws regarding that July call with Ukraine's president. But Barr reportedly declined. The White House, while dismissing the hearings, is raising its defense, adding 2 longtime Trump allies to the team to come up with a better strategy of pushing back. Karina Mitchell, ABC News, New York.
Vice President Mike Pence plans to make a run for a second-term official later today. He will formally file the ticket for President Trump and himself to be on the ballot in New Hampshire next year. Several Democratic presidential contenders have already filed for the first in the nation primary.
At 4:44, a Texas man accused of killing 2 people and injuring dozens others at a house party has been released from custody. Brandon Gonzalez says that he was released and not told why. He was charged with capital murder last month. The Hunt County Sheriff says that evidence was found that cleared Gonzalez. The witness allegedly identified himself as the gunman at the party near Texas A&M campus. Gonzalez says that he was not the shooter, and he's frustrated that he was arrested in the first place.
To me, it's never going to be the same, because I know some people still look at me as some type of way, but that's not me. It's just because how the sheriff's office made me look.
Well, the sheriff's office has not said what the evidence was that caused them to release Gonzalez. His attorneys say that they plan to file a civil suit.
2 escaped California inmates are back in custody after making it to Mexico. Santos Fonseca and Jonathan Salazar are both 19 and were caught after they tried to get back into the States. They escaped the Monterey County Jail earlier this week when they climbed out of a hole they cut in the ceiling. Both were being held on murder charges. They're currently being held at the border by Customs and Border Protection. They'll be housed in separate jail cells when they return to California.
New information now this morning on the country's first deadly self-driving car crash. A federal report says that Uber car could not anticipate jaywalkers. Last year, a woman was killed by the self-driving car in Arizona while pushing a bike across a dark street. The NTSB released 400 pages of documents this week detailing this crash. A meeting is scheduled later this month to discuss the probable cause. It still has not been decided whether or not charges will be filed against the person controlling that car. Right now, we do want to get a check of our forecast. Alyssa Donovan is standing by with a look at what's going on the radar, Alyssa.
So we have some rain moving through. Most of that, though, is well to the south of Indianapolis right now. So here's Indy, and here is our showers. That's moving through Shoals and into Seymour across I-65. As we head through the morning, we're going to see that move up just a little bit further north, but mostly for southeast counties right into Greensburg. That's the areas that we're going to expect a few showers yet this morning. So that's all coming from this cold front that's tracking across the region right now. The main impact with that coming up next is just going to be some cooler temperatures that it's bringing along with it. So throughout the day today, we're starting this morning in the 40s, and then we're actually going to see those temperatures drop off a little bit. We'll see cloudy skies throughout the day. The main chance of any precipitation lingering is going to be over those southeast counties this morning. We could see some rain showers, possibly a few snowflakes mixed in there as well, until that clears out by right around the noon hour. But you can see throughout the day those temperatures are falling. So we're actually as warm as we're going to be today right about now with those temperatures in the 40s. By the noon hour, we'll be right around 39 degrees in Indianapolis, and then by 7:30 tonight, we're dropping close to freezing with our friends to the north into the 20s, which is where we will be by tomorrow morning. And here's a look at what I'm talking about. So behind this cold front, we have this cool, dry air that's moving in. We also have northerly winds. That's helping usher in some of that cooler air into the Indianapolis area. So we're at 42 degrees right now, but look at Minneapolis. We're at 17 degrees there, 28 degrees in Chicago. And by this time tomorrow morning, we are going to be into the 20s as well. Some areas will be into the teens. So tomorrow morning, you are definitely going to need your warmer coat. 22 degrees for our morning low for your Friday, 18 degrees in Peru and Muncie. So much cooler air settling in behind this system. By the weekend, we'll warm up just a little bit. Those morning lows, though, don't recover too much. We'll be right around 25 degrees. Saturday morning, 46 degrees for the high, 55 on Sunday. The good news is we're going to see plenty of sunshine over the weekend. By late Sunday night, we have a disturbance that will move through. That could bring us the potential of a few showers, maybe some snow mixed in there as well. Today, starting in the 30s, those spotty showers mainly to the south and southeast of us. Could see a few snowflakes in there as well. By the noon hour, 39 degrees, still seeing that breeze out of the north, and then we are dropping off as we head into the afternoon and evening with those temperatures. By tomorrow morning, much cooler air settles in, 22 degrees for our overnight low. Tomorrow, not warming too much, 37 degrees for our high. The good news is we'll see sunshine, and that sunshine and dry conditions will stick with us through the weekend and into next week. But you can see by Monday morning, another blast of Arctic air moves in, and that's going to take our temperatures down into the teens.
Alyssa, thank you. Want to give you a live look right now in the downtown area. This is our camera at I-65 and Fletcher Avenue. And everything here looks okay, but if you look farther out in the distance, you'll see some flashing lights. They're still working to clear that overturned semi-crash that we have at the South Split. It's blocking all lanes of northbound I-65, so you'll have to reroute onto westbound I-70. It looks like they are making some progress, though, so that is good news. Let's take a look right now at our Traffic Now map, and I'll show you the area of the slowdown. So as you're traveling in from maybe areas to the south, you're heading northbound on I-65. You will not be able to continue towards Washington Street. You'll have to head over on westbound I-70. We'll let you know when this is all back open and all clear this morning. For now, let's take a live look up to the northeast, I-465 and I-69. You can see traffic there is moving along just fine. No crashes or delays here on the northeast side to slow you down.
Target is kicking off its holiday sales this weekend. The company just announced its Holiday Deals, which is a preview Black Friday sale. Sales on thousands of items will start Friday and Saturday. The official Black Friday deals will be up for grabs online on Thanksgiving morning. Target says its store locations will open at 5 a.m. on Thanksgiving and stay open until 1 a.m. Friday.
As you start getting gifts, you may want to make sure that you can get them in the mail on time for the holidays. The U.S. Postal Service has released its ship-by dates for this year. For regular mail and packages, the deadline is December 20th. For its reach its destination by Christmas, rather. Priority mail's deadline is set for December 21st, and for all the procrastinators out there, the Priority Mail Express is December 23rd. The Postal Service expects to handle more than 1 million return packages every day in December. Well, today is a major milestone for ABC's The View.
The daytime talk show is celebrating the 5,000th episode of the show, which launched in 1997. Donald Trump Jr. is making his first appearance as a guest on the show, along with girlfriend and senior advisor to the Donald Trump 2020 presidential campaign, Kimberly Guilfoyle. You can catch The View at 11 a.m. right here on RTV6, just before the news at noon. A unique twist on a holiday tradition. After the break, a look at all these alcohol-filled advent calendars.
Okay, and a man has filed for an excessive force lawsuit against the city of Muncie and 3 of its police officers. All new at 5 o'clock, what we know about the incident caught on body camera. But first,
I'm Vinny Politan. Coming up today on Court TV, day 2 of Florida versus Henry Segura. He's been charged in the deaths of his girlfriend and 3 children back in 2010. He's been locked up for many years, but now is on trial. But he says he didn't do it, and the defense says they can prove who did do it. The Mexican drug cartel. We are live in Tallahassee today on Court TV.
Vinny, thank you. Don't forget you can watch the all-new Court TV live on your mobile device by visiting CourtTV.com. We'll be right back.
Pair of glasses and get 40% off your second pair.
You can now listen to a previously unheard song by late artist George Michael. It's called This Is How and features an upbeat vibe and acoustic guitars. This is the first release of his original music since he died in 2016. Michael made a rough recording of the song in 2012 and later in 2015. The new song is also featured on the new movie Last Christmas, starring Game of Thrones actress Emilia Clarke.
Well, typically Advent calendars have hidden candies or chocolates, but Aldi is bringing back their unique version of the tradition. The company is rolling out its annual wine advent calendars. The box holds multiple mini wine bottles counting down to Christmas Eve. There's also a beer calendar. Last year, these sold out within minutes across the U.S.
And I saw people were waiting in some long lines yesterday to get their hands on those. Yes. Yeah. So I don't know if they're going to have them still on store shelves if you want to go get your hands on one.
You have to make your own.
Yes, which would be very, very easy.
Makes December fun, I guess.
Very fun.
Yes.
Very fun. One thing that does not make December fun or November, the weather that we're about to have.
Yes, it's cooling down quite a bit by tomorrow morning. Those temperatures are dropping into the 20s today. We're going to see those temperatures fall throughout the day. Our highs, we're going to hit them early in the day, right around 39 degrees, dropping into the mid-30s by about 7 o'clock, freezing overnight. And then we do have a few stray showers yet this morning, but those are clearing out quickly. Mostly sunny this weekend, and then much colder to start next week.